think even if you're friends, it's impossible to be just ordinary friends, brother. You really need to work harder. If such a beautiful older sister is snatched away by someone else, you'll really regret it for the rest of your life," Lin Yu said with a smile. "Children should mind their own business when it comes to adults' affairs." Lin Feng gently tapped Lin Yu on the head. "All right, I'm leaving. You stay here and keep mom company and take good care of father. I'll come to see him when he transfers to a regular ward. Call me anytime if anything happens." With that he drove away from the hospital. There was a small interlude. Today, Zhang Xiaoyan's 8th personal album finally launched on Qing Music. In recent years, with the development of the internet, singers releasing albums no longer make physical records like before. Now, things like VCDs and DVDs have long been obsolete. Even teenagers nowadays don't know what these things are. Today's singers all release digital albums online. This is not only convenient, but also maximizes profits. As a heavenly queen level figure, Zhang Xiaoyan's digital album immediately appeared on the homepage of the Qing music streaming platform as soon as it was released. Many singers promoted Zhang Xiaoyan on their social platforms. And Zhang Xiaoyan's lead single was the new song That Love Is Not Love, Dear, with lyrics and music by Lin Feng. Holy cow, both the lyrics and music for this song are by Lin Feng. When they saw the song's introduction, the fans online all got excited. The album had a total of 11 songs, and each of these 11 songs was charged for individually 1 yuan per song. Immediately after purchasing, the fans eagerly started playing the songs. Because this was the first time Lin Feng had written a song for someone else. The intro accompaniment is so long, this is Lin Feng da style, someone commented. After the intro ended, Zhang Xiaoyan's clear voice, like a mountain spring, began to sing. The organ in the classroom, ding dong, like the sound of you confessing, your actions always so gentle. Smiling as I watched you deliver the letter, then turn and leave, I love your clear and elegant concern. The warm milk bottle, clutched in my hand, I always feel so touched when you're around. Days are like a merry-go-round, spinning endlessly in my mind, those scenes of you being good to me appear. Holy cow, it's so good to listen to. Just those 2 lines and I feel like I've been cleansed by a clear spring. It's too good to listen to, and I never expected Zhang Xiaoyan's voice to be so beautiful. Her previous songs never showcased it. The warm milk bottle, clutched in my hand, I always feel so touched when you're around. Days are like a merry-go-round, spinning endlessly in my mind, those scenes of you being good to me appear. Although the pitch was not very high, the vocal range was very wide, making one feel as if they were in a forest, listening to a stream in the jungle passing through bushes. It's so good to listen to, this singing voice, I feel like my soul has been baptized. The lyrics are so well written, and the composition too. Lin Feng da is Lin Feng da. No, after I finish listening, I'm going to go to Yang Fan's social platform and curse him out a bit to feel satisfied. Who did Yang Fan ever offend? And this song, That Love Is Not Love, Dear, also broke through 20 million sales in 3 hours. This achievement has already surpassed the sales of any of Zhang Xiaoyan's previous songs. Sister Xiaoyan, we've broken 20 million, and sales are still continuously increasing. I estimate the final sales for this song will conservatively reach around 50 million. Zhang Xiaoyan's manager called Zhang Xiaoyan to report this good news, and her breathing sounded a bit hurried. You said holding hands is a promise, but that love is not love, dear. Just like a shooting star that you couldn't wish upon, no matter how beautiful, it's only a memory. Promises, too beautiful, because of youth, but that love is not love, dear, it's like a fairy living in the wrong forest, that love is transparently wrong. The singing was still echoing, but Zhang Xiaoyan was already stunned. She didn't expect the sales of this song to be so high, and this was just a song Lin Feng wrote in half a day. The CEO of Qing music platform lit a cigar, happily looking at the data on the platform. Qing music and Cool Cat music had been suppressed by Penguin music for years. Even hiring Zhang Xiaoyan with a high salary couldn't stop this decline. Many times he envied Cool Cat music for unearthing the treasure that is Lin Feng. But now it seems Zhang Xiaoyan's influence is also not to be underestimated. Although this song was created by Lin Feng, Zhang Xiaoyan's performance elevated the song to another level. Hello Zhao fan. Is there something you need when calling me? Lin Feng was driving when Ye Xiaoyu's call came through. "Hello, brother-in-law, how is uncle now?" Ye Xiaoyu asked with concern on the other end of the phone. "Don't worry, the director your sister hired is very capable, and the surgery was very successful. My dad is out of danger," Lin Feng said with a smile. "That's good. Oh, by the way, did you know Zhang Xian's new album was released today?" "Not sure? What happened?" "What happened? Do you know the song you wrote for her, That Love Is Not Love Dear, exploded? Sales have already surpassed 50 million. Just now, CEO Qin called me to complain, asking why I didn't write such a good song for their female singers signed to Cool Cat Music, but instead for a female singer on the Kaindu music platform. Isn't that helping the other side attract traffic?" Ye Xiaoyu said helplessly. "Don't worry, tell CEO Qin that I've already thought of a song for that female singer. I'll give it to her whenever she wants it," Lin Feng said with a smile. "Do you want to have dinner together today?" Ye Xiaoyu asked. "No need, today I'm planning to ask your sister out for dinner," Lin Feng replied. "All right, brother-in-law, are you preparing to make your move? Go for it. Try to win over my sister tonight. Have a few more drinks with my sister, and once the alcohol takes effect, you two can ignite a passionate spark. How exciting," Ye Xiaoyu said with a lewd grin. "You rascal, she's your own sister," Lin Feng said with some exasperation. "What about my own sister? Aren't I just worried for her? I'm telling you, brother-in-law, I, Ye Xiaoyu, will only ever recognize you as my brother-in-law in this life, so you've got to put in some effort. First cook the raw rice into cooked rice. But you're currently in the rising period of your career, so you need to be prepared for protection." Ye Xiaoyu chattered on and on. "You stinky brat, is this how you help others deal with your sister and me?" Suddenly, a female voice came through the phone to Ye Xiaoyu's ear. He was truly too familiar with this voice. At this moment, Ye Xiaoyu felt his entire body freeze instantly. He only felt all the hairs on his body stand up, and his heart turned cold by half. "Damn it, why is my sister in brother-in-law's car? Brother-in-law, you didn't give me any warning. I seriously suspect you're messing with me right now. You stinky brat, you just wait for me. When I have time, I'll settle the score with you." With that, Ye Xiaoyu hung up the phone. Looking at Lin Feng next to her, Ye Xiaoyu, fuming, punched Lin Feng hard. "No, you were the one who wanted to listen, and I didn't expect Xiaoyu to be so unrestrained with his words," Lin Feng said, wincing in pain. "You men are all no good," Ye Xiaoyu said huffily. With that, she turned her flushed face to look out the window. At Ye Group, Ye Xiaoyu was pacing back and forth in a conference room, headphones on, holding a piece of paper, and continuously murmuring something. "What's wrong?" Ye Xiaoyu walked over and asked the group. "Xiaoyu, what's wrong with Xiaoyu?" She locked herself in the conference room first thing this morning and told everyone not to disturb her, a middle-aged man whispered to Ye Xiaoyu. "Perhaps Xiaoyu has an important conference call," Ye Xiaoyu thought for a moment before replying. "But I have an urgent document that needs Xiaoyu's signature," the middle-aged man said anxiously. "That's right, secretary, all these documents need Xiaoyu's signature, and what kind of conference call takes 3 hours? Everyone, all you CEOs, how about this? Leave your documents here and go back to your work. I'll bring them to you this afternoon after Xiaoyu signs them, all right?" Ye Xiaoyu said softly, covering her head, as she looked at the chattering crowd. "We were just waiting for you to say that, Xiaoyu." With that, everyone promptly handed all their documents to Ye Xiaoyu. "Xiaoyu, mine is the most important, put it first." After handing all their documents to Ye Xiaoyu, the CEOs left, minding their own business. Ye Xiaoyu, holding the stack of documents, looked at Ye Xiaoyu still pacing in the conference room and helplessly pulled out her phone to call Ye Xiaoyu. Inside the conference room, Ye Xiaoyu froze, then looked out at Ye Xiaoyu, who was holding a pile of documents. Ye Xiaoyu helplessly shook the documents in her hand, then pointed to Ye Xiaoyu's office next door, signaling for Ye Xiaoyu to quickly return to her office. A large pile of documents needed her signature. "Xiaoyu, you're really something. With so much work to do, you're slacking off in the conference room," Ye Xiaoyu said softly, handing Ye Xiaoyu a glass of water. "Don't I have some personal matters to handle?" Ye Xiaoyu said as she flipped through the documents. "You should drink some water, your voice sounds hoarse," Ye Xiaoyu said. "Oh, what's this?" Suddenly, Ye Xiaoyu noticed a piece of paper Ye Xiaoyu had left nearby. She remembered Ye Xiaoyu holding this paper in the conference room earlier, so she wanted to take a look. Don't touch it, Xiao Tong. Oh, Ye Xiaoyu tried to stop her, but Ye Xiao Tong already had it in her hand. The evening breeze sways the bamboo grove, the moonlight lengthens our silhouettes. Are these song lyrics? Ye Xiao Tong asked Ye Xiaoyu. Yes, these are lyrics your brother-in-law wrote for me, Ye Xiaoyu replied. Brother-in-law wrote a song for you? Ye Xiao Tong asked in surprise. Ye Xiaoyu nodded, her cheeks slightly flushed. He had originally planned not to tell anyone about this. Talented people even show affection in such an artistic way. Us single dogs can only watch enviously, Ye Xiao Tong sighed. What's wrong? Are you little girl feeling amorous? Ye Xiaoyu signed one document and immediately picked up another. Ye Xiaoyu was quite serious about her work and her efficiency was astonishingly fast. Sister, what are you talking about? My future boyfriend, Ye Xiao Tong's, must be outstanding, Ye Xiao Tong said proudly. The sunlight flashes across your smiling face, that image is already set as my phone's wallpaper. Just then Ye Xiaoyu's phone rang. It was her private phone. Ye Xiaoyu quickly answered. Hello ma'am, I still have some documents to approve, it should take about another hour. Okay, no need, I'll just grab something to eat outside, okay goodbye. With that, Ye Xiaoyu hung up the phone. Who was that? Brother-in-law? Ye Xiao Tong asked curiously. Mind your own business, why are you so nosy? Ye Xiaoyu lightly tapped Ye Xiao Tong's head and said, also don't you dare lose these lyrics, I still need to look at them later. Brother-in-law, this morning I received over 20 calls from singers, their companies, and their agents, all wanting to commission songs from you, Ye Xiaofen said, smiling, as he walked into Lin Feng's office and sat on the sofa. I told you don't call me brother-in-law at the company, Lin Feng said while typing. Now whenever Lin Feng had time, he would type. Currently, the online updates only reached Ghost Lai saving the nine-tailed demonic fox, but Lin Feng's drafts had already reached Tian Bui's death. All right, I'll pay attention next time, Ye Xiaofen said, waving his hand. So, what about these song commissions? Some people are directly offering over 3 million, which is several times the market price, Ye Xiaofen whispered. Why are so many people looking for me to write songs? Lin Feng asked while typing. Don't you know? The song you wrote for Zhang Xian has already sold 70 million copies. Her other 10 songs combined barely broke 100 million, Ye Xiaofen said. Now, any song you write is a symbol of a hit song. Each, when we were being ostracized, these people didn't hesitate to kick us while we were down. How do they still have the nerve to ask me to write songs now? Reject them all. Just say I'm preparing my first album and don't have time. Lin Feng stopped typing, looked up, and said to Ye Xiaofen. Okay, I'll reject them shortly, Ye Xiaofen nodded, then stood up and said, where are we eating lunch today? No need, I'm going to the hospital to see my dad later. He's already been moved to a regular ward. After that, I won't come back to the company, I'll go straight home. After finishing that chapter, Lin Feng closed his computer, packed his things and left. Give my best to uncle and auntie. I'll go see them later, Ye Xiaofen called out to Lin Feng. Lin Feng didn't look back, just waved his hand to indicate he understood, and then left the company. Xiao Tong, these few documents have been signed. Have someone deliver them this afternoon. For these other documents, leave them here for now, and call the respective managers to have them come to headquarters for a meeting promptly at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. After signing a stack of documents, Ye Xiaoyu picked up her bag, ready to leave. No, what are you doing? Sister, you have a meeting this afternoon, Ye Xiao Tong said quickly, looking at Ye Xiaoyu who was about to leave. I have something to do. Have Xiaozu preside over the meeting this afternoon, Ye Xiaoyu said. Where are you going? Do you want me to drive you? Ye Xiao Tong asked. No need, I'll drive myself, Ye Xiaoyu replied. Ye Xiao Tong helplessly shook her head, and then unfolded the paper. However, Ye Xiaoyu returned, quickly snatched the paper and said, I almost forgot this thing. With that, Ye Xiaoyu turned and left again. I'm telling you, don't tell anyone about this, or else you'll see how I deal with you. Hey, Lin Feng, I've already left the company and am about to head home. Are you home yet? In the parking lot, Ye Xiaoyu walked towards her car while calling Lin Feng. I'm sorry Xiaoyu, I'm at the hospital right now, but I'll be back soon. Wait for me a bit. Okay, no problem. I'll grab something to eat and I'll see you at home. Who was that? Was it that girl who came with you? In the hospital room, which was a bit pale and monotonous. Father Lin leaned back on the bed, slightly turned his head, and looked at Lin Feng, who was standing by the bed, with a hint of curiosity and doubt, asking. Lin Feng heard his father's question. A helpless smile appeared on his face, and he replied softly, "Dad, don't guess wildly. Don't worry about my affairs. Right now, the most important thing for you is to rest and recover, and get discharged from the hospital as soon as possible." As he spoke, he smiled and handed the freshly peeled, crystal-clear apple to Father Lin. Father Lin saw this, reached out to take the apple, but couldn't help but laugh and scold. "You rascal, every time I talk to you about these things, you deliberately interrupt and change the subject." Although he said that, seeing his son's sensible and filial demeanor, he still felt deeply comforted. Just then, the hospital room door was gently pushed open, and Mother Lin walked in, carrying several bags of steaming hot food. She said as she walked, "Lunch is here." Her voice was like the warm sun in spring, bringing a touch of warmth and vitality to the previously somewhat dull hospital room. It smells so good." Lin Feng hurried forward, took the lunchboxes full of food from his mother's hand, and carefully placed them on the small table next to the hospital bed. Then he turned around to help his mother pull out a chair so she could sit down and rest her feet. However, before Lin Feng could even sit down properly, Father Lin suddenly spoke to him. "You rascal, hurry up and eat. Get out of here as soon as you finish eating." Father Lin's tone seemed strict, but in reality, it was full of love for his son. Mother Lin was a bit confused for a moment, not understanding what was wrong with the father and son, and quickly asked Father Lin, "What's wrong with you two? Can't you talk nicely?" "Nothing, it's just that the girl who came with this rascal earlier called him again. This rascal isn't with her, and is instead accompanying an old man like me here." Father Lin looked like he was disappointed in him. "Dad, you don't even know what happened, so don't meddle," Lin Feng said. "You rascal, you still dare to talk back to me," Father Lin said, making a gesture as if to hit Lin Feng. All right, I'll leave after I eat, okay?" Lin Feng said helplessly. After eating something casually outside, Ye Xiaoyu returned home. And just as Ye Xiaoyu entered the door, Lin Feng arrived right after her. "Didn't you go to the hospital to see your dad that fast?" Ye Xiaoyu asked with a smile, looking at Lin Feng. "It's all because of your call. My dad said he didn't need me there and told me to come and accompany you," Lin Feng said while changing his shoes. This made Ye Xiaoyu feel a little embarrassed. "By the way, have you eaten? Or should I make you some noodles?" Lin Feng put the shoes he had taken off into the shoe cabinet and turned to ask Ye Xiaoyu. "No need, I've already eaten." Ye Xiaoyu shook her head. "Then do you want to rest for a bit, or should we start right away?" Lin Feng asked. "Let's start right away, I'm a little excited," Ye Xiaoyu said quickly. The two of them went directly to the second floor. There were many empty rooms on the second floor, one of which Ye Xiaoyu had converted into a recording studio. It was originally for Lin Feng to record songs conveniently, but now it seemed she was the first person to use it. "Xiaoyu, warm up your voice first, and I'll adjust the equipment," Lin Feng said with a smile to Ye Xiaoyu, who had already entered the recording studio. After speaking, Lin Feng began to debug the equipment. It must be said that the recording equipment Ye Xiaoyu bought was all top-notch internationally. Lin Feng only made a slight adjustment, and everything was ready. "Xiaoyu, are you ready? We're about to begin," Lin Feng said into the microphone after everything was debugged. Ye Xiaoyu also gave Lin Feng an OK gesture. A few days ago, after Lin Feng's father's successful surgery, Lin Feng was sincerely grateful to Ye Xiaoyu. So, Ye Xiaoyu asked Lin Feng to give her this song and help her record it. This was no problem for Lin Feng, so today, the two of them officially began recording. Sakura Grass is a very light and sweet song, and it doesn't have complicated vocal runs, which is perfect for someone like Ye Xiaoyu. Lin Feng thought so in his heart, but during the actual recording, Lin Feng was distressed. "Xiaoyu, your voice is too cold. This is a sweet girl song. You need to be sweeter, a little more milky." After who knows how many takes, Lin Feng wiped his face with both hands and said softly to Ye Xiaoyu. "Okay." They had been recording for over an hour, and only 2 sections had been recorded. Lin Feng had fallen into the biggest challenge of his artistic career. But Ye Xiaoyu was very excited. Recording songs was really too much fun. What could Lin Feng do? He wanted to cry out to the heavens, but in the end, only tears flowed. "A milky voice? I understand, You should have said so earlier. Hearing Lin Feng tell her to make her voice a little milky, Ye Xiaoyu immediately understood what Lin Feng meant. During the re-recording, Ye Xiaoyu's voice finally changed. Her milky voice was very pleasant to listen to, and her clip voice was also very pleasant. This made Lin Feng distressed. Sister, are you sent by heaven to punish me? How is it, teacher? Is it milky enough? Ye Xiaoyu excitedly asked Lin Feng, her face full of joy, and playfully called Lin Feng teacher. She's doing it on purpose. This woman is definitely doing it on purpose. Lin Feng swore on the third fingernail of his left hand that Ye Xiaoyu was definitely messing with him. But even if he knew it was intentional, what could Lin Feng do? He took a deep breath and thought to himself, calm down, smile. After all, boys who smile a lot never have bad luck. Thinking of this, Lin Feng forced out a smile that was uglier than crying. Little sister Ye Xiaoyu, your milky voice is too sweet. The sweetness is a bit over the top. We don't need it to be fully milky, half milky is enough. I understand half milky, right? I got it. Ye Xiaoyu nodded very seriously. She didn't look like she was doing it on purpose at all. Finally, after 5 hours, Ye Xiaoyu finished recording Sakura Grass. Are we done? Are we done? As soon as she finished recording, Ye Xiaoyu came to Lin Feng's side and asked excitedly. Yes, we're done. I'll just edit it tomorrow, Lin Feng said weakly. Hey, what's wrong with you? I've been recording for so long and I'm not tired, but why are you so exhausted? Ye Xiaoyu patted Lin Feng's shoulder and asked with a smile, looking at his appearance. Haha, what else could Lin Feng say? I'm mentally exhausted. Even though the recording was over, Ye Xiaoyu was still incredibly excited. During dinner that night, she kept asking Lin Feng when he planned to upload it and to which music platform. Lin Feng really didn't want to talk to her anymore. Finally, he couldn't take it and told her to listen to it herself on Kumao music platform tomorrow at 8 a.m. That night, Ye Xiaoyu tossed and turned, very excited. When was the last time she was this excited? It seemed to be several years ago, when the market value of Ye Group first increased after she took charge of it. The next day, Lin Feng woke up half an hour earlier than usual. After washing up and making breakfast, Ye Xiaoyu also got up. You're up so early today? Ye Xiaoyu asked, seeing the breakfast on the table. Yes, I'll go to Xiao Fan's company earlier to release your song, Lin Feng said with a smile. Breakfast is ready. The millet porridge is in the pot. Remember to serve yourself. After eating, just leave the dishes there and I'll wash them when I get back. I'm leaving first. After giving another instruction to Ye Xiaoyu, Lin Feng left. At 8 a.m., Kumao Music Platform's Fengsing Entertainment Company account showed that another song had been uploaded. This excited some of Lin Feng's fans. It's important to know that Lin Feng doesn't have his own personal account. All his songs are released through Fengsing Entertainment Company's account. So, all of Lin Feng's fans followed this account. Since Lin Feng released Sunshine Boy, he hadn't released a new song for over a month, which was truly difficult for his fans. Initially, Lin Feng's fans thought it was because he had focused entirely on novels these days and hadn't released any songs. So for a while, all the fans flocked to the comments section of the novel Ju Zion to ask Lin Feng to release new songs quickly. This made the novel fans unhappy. Lin Feng only updated 2 chapters a day, and the update speed was really too slow. A rich patron had even tipped nearly 100,000 yuan hoping Lin Feng would update more, but it never happened. The updates were already slow, and now you guys are coming here to ask him to write more songs? Isn't that clearly trying to cause trouble? And so, the novel fans and music fans started arguing again. Of course, none of that matters. What matters is that Fengsing Entertainment Company released a new song today, and according to their understanding, Fengsing Entertainment Company currently only has Lin Feng as a singer. So, all of Lin Feng's fans rushed to Fengsing Entertainment Company's account, and even Qin Tian was puzzled. Why didn't Lin Feng notify him in advance about releasing a new song so he could promote it? But when he clicked in, he saw that it wasn't Lin Feng who released a new song, but someone named Xiaoyu. This was uninteresting, but when they saw that the lyrics and music were all by Lin Feng, the fans became interested again. After all, Lin Feng is now the symbol of hit songs. The song that Love Is Not Love, Dear he wrote for the Heavenly Queen Zhang Shay a few days ago directly went viral. This song was a whole 1 or 2 tiers above the other 10 songs on Heavenly Queen Zhang Shay's album. Now, countless heavenly kings and queens want Lin Feng to help them write a song. But who is this Xiaoyu? Such a big shot? I heard that not long ago. Zhang Tianyang posted on Weibo hoping Lin Feng could help him with a song, but Fengxing Company didn't even respond, someone commented. Sakura Grass, just like before, was priced at 1 yuan. After payment it started playing. The beautiful piano music immediately captivated Lin Feng's fans. This is a sweet, slow song, gentle and soothing like flowing water, full of infinite tenderness and affection. Every lyric is like a poem, softly singing a dreamy, illusory emotional story. Furthermore, although the melody of this song is not particularly complex, it possesses an indescribable charm, as if each segment of the melody is like the ripples caused by a breeze across a lake, gently touching the listener's heartstrings. Unconsciously, the listener's lips would curve into a slight, sweet smile from the heart. There is a pleasant feeling, just like basking in warm sunshine, feeling completely enveloped in happiness. The bamboo forest swayed by the evening breeze, the moonlight elongated our figures. Fireflies, flickering, a sky full of vanishing stars dancing across the mountains. Just 2 simple lines of lyrics made people feel as if they were in a valley, with a gentle breeze, a bright moon, vanishing stars, a bamboo forest, and fireflies. All of this was brought to life by Ye Xiaoyu's sweet and warm singing, painting a beautiful picture for the listeners. The Milky Way shines in the sky, the wind chimes sing on the ground. Vaiga is in the distance, an ancient romantic myth. My goodness, it's so beautiful. This voice is too sweet. I feel like I'm falling in love, a fan of Lin Feng commented at this moment. Although Lin Feng didn't sing it, the song was genuinely good. Who is this girl? Can we do a human search? Is she also a contracted singer with Fengxing Entertainment Company? Of course she is, otherwise would Lin Feng write a song for her, and even upload it using Fengxing Entertainment Company's account. My God, what a sweet voice, it's like a fairy from heaven softly singing. Water flows, just like the changing of the 4 seasons. Happiness spreads, loving you forever, not alone. Sakura grass in lover's hands, a spring. Colored smile walking by. Planting one by one, the brilliant youth of early years. I feel like I'm in love, I can't take it anymore. After listening to this song I feel like my heart has been cleansed. I must go watch an island nation romance film to corrupt my inner self. Damn, who could imagine a greasy uncle with a full beard having a sweet smile on his face after listening to this song? I even feel a bit disgusted looking in the mirror myself. No, this song is too sweet, I'm getting high blood sugar. You guys, if such a sweet voice were to do that thing would the sound still be this sweet? Suddenly, a very discordant comment appeared before everyone. Damn it, my soul, which was just saved, has been defiled by you, kid. Damn, you can defile such a song, are you even human? Do what? Why don't I understand? Can you explain in detail? Same question, I'm still a primary school student, what does the big brother above mean? Damn it, you guys can even drive at this? Sakura grass in lover's arms, hearing the heartbeat in the chest. Secretly missing, that is the mark of our love. On the way to the company, Ye Xiaoyu listened to Sakura grass, and then looked at Ye Xiaoyu sitting in the back. At this moment Ye Xiaoyu was listening to the song while looking at the comments below. Suddenly, she noticed Ye Xiaoyu staring at her in the rear view mirror. What's wrong, Xiaoyu? Is my makeup smudged? Ye Xiaoyu asked, puzzled. No, I really can't figure it out. Where did you produce such a voice from? From my throat, of course. Could it be? Oh, you little brat, drive carefully. Ye Xiaoyu seemed to have thought of something and tapped Ye Xiaoyu's head, telling her to drive properly. And she herself happily looked at the comments below. Oh my! Sisters, have you heard the new song Sakura Grass? It's so good. It reminds me of my first love in high school. After arriving at the company, Ye Xiaoyu opened her personal phone. At this moment, Invincible Pretty Girl said in her sister's group chat. No sooner had she sent that, sexy little Lolita replied. Don't reminisce about your first love. Your first love was slept with by that little hussy Min Min. Seeing sexy little Lolita say that, Ye Xiaoyu immediately burst out laughing. My, that really hit home, sister. What the hell, my, are you doing this on purpose? Xiao Shuang has already forgotten about it, and you're bringing it up again. Aren't you deliberately trying to sow discord between us sisters? Her Majesty the Queen replied at this moment. You hussy, the guy I secretly liked for 3 years was slept with by you, you hussy. How big-hearted do you think I am to forget it so quickly? Invincible pretty girl immediately retorted. I say Xiaoyu, your cheap husband is quite something. The songs he writes for girls are so good. When are you going to get your husband to write one for us sisters too? Regardless of what Xiao Shuang said, Her Majesty the Queen immediately spoke again. You little hussy, Xiaoyu and her husband's relationship has been very good lately. Don't you go ruining their feelings, invincible pretty girl said again. Oh really? Xiaoyu, have you already fallen for him like that? Tell us, is there, that thing? Do you want me to teach you? I can even give you a live demonstration, Her Majesty the Queen immediately said. Ye Xiaoyu. He seriously doubted whether she still needed to stay in this group chat. And weren't they supposed to be discussing the song Sakura Grass? How did the conversation veer into that territory? Min, you slut, have you run out of cucumbers? If you have, wrap a chopstick in cling film and play with that instead, sexy little Lolita also said at this moment. Immediately, the topic shifted to Ye Xiaoyu and her cheap husband. Gotta go, I'm off to a meeting. Ye Xiaoyu quickly sent a message, then put her phone aside and rubbed her temples. However, at this moment her facein buzzed again. She opened it to see a private message from Min. It was an official account article, and the article's title was A Woman's First Time. Ye Xiaoyu fainted, on the other hand, at Fengxing Entertainment Company, in Lin Feng's office at this very moment. Ye Xiaofen was sitting on a comfortable sofa, wearing headphones, listening to Ye Xiaoyu's rendition of Sakura Grass over and over again. Each time it finished playing, he would unhesitatingly press the replay button, as if he could never get enough of it. Hey, how can this girl's voice be so sweet? It's just like a little milk cow, Ye Xiaofen exclaimed with a wide grin after listening to the song again. His eyes narrowed slightly, seemingly intoxicated by the saccharine voice that could make one's blood pressure rise. Lin Feng, who was busy typing on the computer in front of him, heard this and his hands suddenly trembled, almost typing the wrong character. It should be known that Ye Xiaoyu had specifically instructed him not to reveal to anyone that she was the one who sang this song. Therefore, up to now, Ye Xiaofen was still in the dark, and did not know that the girl he was praising so highly was none other than his own sister, Ye Xiaoyu. I say, Brother Lin, you just casually write a song for a stranger. If my sister finds out, won't she get jealous and angry? Ye Xiaofen asked Lin Feng with a playful smile, swinging his legs. No, it's just this song. Besides, your sister knows the person who sang it. Lin Feng had a sudden thought, recalling when Ye Xiaoyu had called him while Ye Xiaofen was next to her, giving him advice on how to quickly get with Ye Xiaoyu. Lin Feng seemed peaceful, but he was secretly mischievous. He couldn't let this grudge go unpunished. So Lin Feng decided to give Ye Xiaofen a good prank. What? My sister knows this girl? My sister doesn't have many friends, and I know all of them. I don't remember any of them having such a sweet voice. Ye Xiaofen immediately became energetic and said to Lin Feng. Oh, I don't know either. I rushed back yesterday just to go home and record this song for her, Lin Feng said with a smile. Alas, brother-in-law, you're confused. A girl with such a sweet voice, you should have brought her here. After recording, I could have invited her to dinner or a movie or something, Ye Xiaofen said with deep regret. That's not hard. Ask your sister for her name, Lin Feng said. That's right, how could I forget that? I'll call my sister right now. Ha 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 ha, Xiaoyu, you wait, big brother is coming to be friends with you. With that, Ye Xiaofen left Lin Feng's office. Lin Feng was about to laugh when Ye Xiaofen suddenly returned, asking Lin Feng very seriously, Brother, give me the lowdown. What does this girl look like? Seeing Ye Xiaofen's serious expression, Lin Feng put down his work and, with an equally serious expression, said to Ye Xiaofen, her looks are just like your sister's. What about her figure? Is she sexy? Is she hot? Ye Xiaofen asked again. I didn't dare to look closely, but I imagine she's probably similar to your sister. Ye Xiaofen was so excited he could almost bite someone. Her looks are like my sister's. Her figure is similar, her voice is so sweet, and her temper is so gentle. Then I'm going to take off. Wait, Xiaofen. How do you know her temper is good? Lin Feng was a little confused. You don't understand. If such a sweet voice didn't come with a good personality, I swear I would never love again, Ye Xiaofen said seriously. He thought for a moment, then finally decided to make the call in Lin Feng's office. "Hello sis, it's Xiao Fan. Didn't you save my number? Are you even my sister anymore? Stop messing around, what is it?" Ye Xiaoyu's voice came from the phone. Sis, there's something I want to discuss with you. You know that girl who sings Sakura Grass, right? Brother-in-law said you know her. Can you introduce her to your little brother? Your little brother is captivated by this girl's voice and wants to be friends with her, Ye Xiaofen said calmly, and calmly again, organizing his tone as he spoke earnestly to Ye Xiaoyu. Ye Xiaofen, you little brat, just you wait, this old lady is going to kill you. Immediately after, Ye Xiaoyu's roar came from the other end of the phone. Brother-in-law, what's wrong with my sister? Is she going through menopause? Or is she not getting enough love? After Ye Xiaoyu hung up, Ye Xiaofen, with a bewildered expression, held his phone and said to Lin Feng. The sales of Sakura Grass were still quite good. As an unknown singer, the total sales in these few days reached over 20 million. Of course, none of this was the main point. Many brothers asked Ye Xiaofen what happened after he kept calling his sister girl. Lin Feng didn't know either, only that in the evening, Ye Xiaoyu came to Fangsing Entertainment Company and entered Ye Xiaofen's office. Immediately after, Ye Xiaofen's screams came from the office. Half an hour later, Ye Xiaoyu clapped her hands, looked at the dumbfounded Lin Feng and said with a smile, "Let's go home." Time flew by, and days passed one by one. Finally, after a period of treatment and recuperation, Father Lin recovered and was discharged from the hospital. Seeing his father gradually regain his health, Lin Feng couldn't express how happy he was. Lin Feng had always been thinking about buying a comfortable house for his parents in the city so they could enjoy their golden years. However, when he told Father Lin this idea, it was met with a firm refusal. Father Lin said that the pace of life in the city was too fast, and he simply couldn't adapt to such an environment. Hearing his father's words, Lin Feng felt a little disappointed but also understood his father's concerns. At this moment Mother Lin, who was beside him, smiled and said to Lin Feng, "Son, I know you are filial, but we really don't need this house. As long as you can come home often to visit and spend more time with us old folks, that's enough." Lin Feng nodded, promising his mother that he would often go home to accompany them. That day, Ye Xiaoyu happened to be busy until after 10 in the evening, so Lin Feng decided to stay home and have dinner with his parents. The family sat around the dining table, happily enjoying a warm moment. Around 7 in the evening, Lin Feng drove back to Magic City. On the way, his phone rang. Lin Feng quickly put on his headphones and answered. "Hello, who is this?" "What? You don't even know who I am? Did you not save my phone number?" A girl's voice came from the other end of the phone. "Oh, Sister Shayan, I'm driving right now, so I didn't see the caller ID," Lin Feng quickly said with a smile. "By the way, do you have time now? I booked a private room at XXX Hotel," Zhang Shayan said. "Does Sister Shayan have something for me?" Lin Feng asked. "It's nothing. You wrote such a wonderful song for me. Of course, I have to treat you to a meal to express my gratitude," Zhang Shayan said with a smile. "Sister, I just finished eating. If I have to eat again, I can't eat anymore," Lin Feng said with a smile. "How about we skip the meal?" "No, it's very difficult to book a spot at this hotel. I fought for a long time to get it." "Come on, even if you don't eat, chatting is good," Zhang Shayan said. "That's it, I'll send you the location." With that, she hung up the phone without letting Lin Feng say anything. Lin Feng was speechless. He pulled over to the side of the road. He was thinking about whether to send a message to Ye Xiaoyu, but then he thought, was he being self-important? What did Zhang Shayan treating him to dinner have to do with Ye Xiaoyu? So, he started the car again, but after driving a short distance, he stopped again. I should still send one, Lin Feng thought, opening Faxin and starting to type. No, if I send it like this, won't it seem too deliberate? It might even make Xiaoyu think I don't know my place. What's her status and what's yours? He thought, deleting all the typed text. After driving for a while, Lin Feng still felt something was off and stopped again by the roadside. He kept stopping and going like this, and the cars behind Lin Feng couldn't take it anymore. A car passed him, and after overtaking, the driver rolled down the window and shouted at Lin Feng, "Bro, your car is jerking so much, anyone who doesn't know would think it's Xiao Si driving." With that, he sped away. This left Lin Feng speechless. "Bro, you've been watching me like this from behind? How idle must you be?" Finally, Lin Feng still sent a message to Ye Xiaoyu. At this moment, Ye Xiaoyu was looking at documents, and Ye Xiaotong was standing beside her. Suddenly, Ye Xiaoyu's personal phone rang. Ye Xiaoyu opened it, then put it to her lips and softly said, "Okay, I know, Xiaotong, and I will just grab something to eat by the roadside after work." "Who is it?" Ye Xiaotong asked softly, blinking her bright, clear eyes, her face full of curiosity. Ye Xiaoyu, who was engrossed in her documents, didn't even lift her head and casually replied, "Your brother-in-law. He said Zhang Xian is treating him to a meal to thank him for writing such a wonderful song for her." With that, she continued to stare intently at the document in her hand, her slender fingers gently turning the pages. "Oh, I see, then there's no problem," Ye Xiaotong nodded, indicating understanding. At this moment, Ye Xiaoyu had just finished reading the document in front of her. She neatly signed her name, then handed it to Ye Xiaotong, who was waiting beside her. She then quickly picked up another document from the table and continued to read it with full concentration. But on second thought, brother-in-law is really getting better and better at this. He even knows to report in advance when he's going to eat with another woman, Ye Xiaotong said with a playful smile, taking the document from her sister. Hearing her sister's words, Ye Xiaoyu couldn't help but look up, asking with a puzzled expression, "What do you mean by report in advance? I don't quite understand." Seeing this, Ye Xiaotong couldn't help but laugh and patiently explained, "Sister, you don't understand this. When you go out to eat with someone of the opposite sex, of course, you have to tell your wife in advance, lest she finds out later and feels uncomfortable." After saying that, she playfully winked at Ye Xiaoyu. Ye Xiaotong was completely engrossed in her own thoughts, talking incessantly, and didn't notice that Ye Xiaoyu's hand, which was flipping through the document, had suddenly paused. She only heard her softly say, "You people think too much. Actually, the reason your brother-in-law tells me in advance is simply because he's worried that if he comes back too late, I won't have anything hot to eat when I get home." After saying that, Ye Xiaoyu's lips curved slightly into a faint smile. Hearing her sister's explanation, Ye Xiaotong nodded as if enlightened, then said with an envious look, "Oh, so that's how it is. I wondered why you always refused to go out for a late-night snack with me, no matter how late, I asked. It turns out brother-in-law prepares loving late-night snacks for you at home. Oh, just thinking about it makes me feel so happy." As she spoke, a glimmer of longing flickered in Ye Xiaotong's eyes, and then she sighed, "Sister, honestly, I feel like you and brother-in-law are such a great CP. You're simply sweet and enviable. You watch fewer sappy idol dramas, read more books. Do you really plan to be my secretary for life?" Ye Xiaoyu shook her head and said. That night, Lin Feng returned very late. It was already midnight when he got home, and Ye Xiaoyu had long since gone back to her room. Lin Feng took a shower on his own, and then returned to his room. The next morning, while Lin Feng was still making breakfast, Ye Xiaofan's call came in. "Hello Xiaofan, I told you, your sister won't let me tell you about that female singer with the very sweet voice." Lin Feng had really been avoiding Ye Xiaofan's calls these days, even going to the company very rarely. It was all because Ye Xiaofan kept pestering him to tell him who that female singer with the very sweet voice was. "What female singer? Those are all secondary matters. Brother-in-law, I ask you, did you go to dinner with Zhang Xian yesterday?" Ye Xiaofan said very seriously at this moment. "Yes, that's right, but Xiaofan, how did you know?" Lin Feng was a bit surprised. "How did Ye Xiaofan know about this? Did Ye Xiaoyu tell him?" "Nonsense. Open your phone now. All of Kuoshu, TikTok, and various entertainment news outlets are reporting that you were photographed by paparazzi on a date with Zhang Xian yesterday," Ye Xiaofan said anxiously. "Do you know, brother-in-law, you're involved in a scandal?" "No Xiaofan, this is just a misunderstanding." "Do you really need to be so anxious?" Lin Feng was curious now. Having a scandal with a queen of pop would only benefit his future career and exposure, not harm it. How many companies would actively arrange for their artists to have scandals and create CPs to gain traffic? Now that he had a scandal with Zhang Xian, shouldn't Ye Xiaofan be happy? "Happy my ass. If my older sister finds out about this, she'll definitely think I arranged it on purpose, and then she'll tear me apart." Ye Xiaofan was very anxious on the other end of the phone. Lin Feng originally wanted to tell Ye Xiaofan that he had already told his older sister about having dinner with Zhang Xian. But on second thought, Lin Feng's mischievous side came out. "Oh no, what can be done about this? But you don't have to worry, after all my older sister and I are only a couple in name. Your older sister won't tear you apart. Get over here quickly. I'm going to hold a press conference to clarify things. Also, give me Zhang Xiaoyu's phone number. I need to call her too and have her issue a statement. Ye Xiaoyu hung up the phone after speaking. Lin Feng sent Zhang Xiaoyu's phone number to Ye Xiaoyu, then opened his phone. September 24th, 8 p.m., rising superstar singer and queen of pop Zhang Xiaoyu had a secret rendezvous at XXX Hotel, suspected underground romance exposed. Opening his phone, he saw the very eye-catching large characters of the headline. Below that was a detailed report, and at the end, there were a few photos of the two eating, but the shooting angle was poor, likely taken by paparazzi. They couldn't even take a handsome picture of me, Lin Feng muttered with a smile. Below that were follow-up reports and articles published by various public accounts. Some articles claimed that Lin Feng had already been dating Zhang Xiaoyu before he became famous, and that at Chen Zixuan, the Queen of Pop's concert, Chen Zixuan intentionally let Lin Feng go on stage to showcase his talent, all to promote Lin Feng. You should know that Zhang Xiaoyu and Chen Zixuan, the Queen of Pop, are very good friends. Just think, if it weren't for that, why would Chen Zixuan, the Queen of Pop, sing Where Have We Met Before with Lin Feng? And most importantly, the female vocal part in Lin Feng's Bai Yao Wo Don't Bite Me clearly sounds like Chen Zixuan's voice. Since they were already dating, then why didn't Zhang Xiaoyu sing with Lin Feng, but instead let Chen Zixuan, the Queen of Pop, sing with Lin Feng? Someone raised a question. Are you stupid? If Zhang Xiaoyu sang with Lin Feng, wouldn't that expose them? Someone replied. This left Lin Feng stunned. Are you guys that imaginative folks? Why don't you write novels with that talent? Wow, I just think Lin Feng and Zhang Xiaoyu, the Queen of Pop, are a pretty good match. There was also a group of people saying this online. Good heavens, how long had it been since the news broke, and there was already a group of CP shippers. He hated those who liked to create CPs and build personas the most. Lin Feng always found these CP creators too hypocritical and disgusting, and he found the fans who liked to ship CPs even more speechless. Seriously, guys and gals, where are your brains? Lost? Who called so early in the morning? Just then, Ye Xiaoyu had finished washing up and came down for breakfast. Who else but Xiao Fan? Lin Feng said with a smile, then handed his phone to Ye Xiaoyu. Ye Xiaoyu took the phone, glanced at it, and immediately burst out laughing. No way, you're already getting involved in scandals. Ye Xiaoyu laughed as she scrolled down to read. Ha 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 ha, those people's imaginations are really too rich. Why don't these people write novels? Ye Xiaoyu continued to laugh. Tell me about it, Lin Feng said somewhat helplessly. But these few photos aren't taken well, they make you look too ugly. Do you want to contact these media outlets and ask them to replace them with some more handsome photos? Ye Xiaoyu teased Lin Feng while looking at the news on her phone. Wow, you even have CP fans now, and I think they're really shippable. Ye Xiaoyu was in a very good mood this morning. However, the next moment, her own phone rang. It was Ye Xiaoyu. Why is this guy calling me? Ye Xiaoyu was a bit puzzled, but still answered Ye Xiaoyu's call. He even put it on speakerphone. Sister, you've seen the news, right? You have to listen to my explanation. I really didn't know about this. Brother-in-law's scandal really wasn't arranged by me. On the other end of the phone, Ye Xiaoyu anxiously spoke to Ye Xiaoyu, as if afraid Ye Xiaoyu wouldn't believe him. Ye Xiaoyu listened to Ye Xiaoyu's tone. Normally, she should have told Ye Xiaoyu the truth, telling him, I know about this. I know what happened when your brother-in-law had dinner with Zhang Xiaoyu, and he already told me before he went. But Ye Xiaoyu probably really enjoyed teasing Ye Xiaoyu, so she cleared her throat and said to Ye Xiaoyu very seriously, Ye Xiaoyu, what explanation? You just wait for me. I'll deal with you when I have time. Ye Xiaoyu heard Ye Xiaoyu's very serious voice, but what he didn't know was that on the other end of the phone, Ye Xiaoyu had already burst into laughter. She was really too delighted this morning, first teasing Lin Feng, then playing a trick on Ye Xiaoyu. She believed today would definitely be a beautiful day. Sister, you have to believe me. I swear, this really wasn't arranged by me. I had no idea at all. I swear on Xiao and I knew, okay. This sentence completely broke Ye Xiaoyu's composure. Ye Xiaoyu, with a dark expression, hung up the phone and turned to look at Lin Feng, who was desperately trying to control himself, his mouth almost stretched to his ears. I say, you should still tell Xiao Fan the truth. otherwise it's not good for him to keep calling you Xiaoyu all day. With that, Lin Feng could no longer control himself, and burst out laughing. Ye Xiaoyu, furious, stomped hard on Lin Feng's foot, making him grimace in pain. Inside a villa complex, in the demon capital, a man stood in a spacious and brightly lit walk-in closet. The man was dressed in a finely tailored black suit of exquisite quality, standing tall and straight like a pine tree before a large, ornate full-length mirror. He focused intently on his reflection, skillfully styling his hair with both hands, meticulously creating a fashionable yet dignified hairstyle. Not long after, a faint sound of footsteps approached. Then, a butler in a neat uniform slowly entered the room and respectfully reported to the man, "Young master, your car is ready and can depart at any time." Hearing this, the man nodded slightly, indicating he understood. He then continued to unhurriedly smooth a few strands of hair on his forehead, while asking in a deep, magnetic voice, "Do you know where Miss Xiaoyu will be attending an event today?" As he spoke, his movements remained incredibly elegant, exuding an innate noble aura with every gesture, making it clear at a glance that he was a wealthy young master accustomed to high society gatherings. Yes, Miss Xiaoyu's itinerary is known. In the afternoon, she will attend a sponsor's event, and afterwards, she will return to her hotel to rest. We plan to make our move at her hotel, the butler said, nodding. Are all the things prepared? Today is a crucial day. The man named Sun Wai took a deep breath, his gaze anxiously sweeping over the various neatly arranged items in the room, his hands unconsciously trembling slightly. This is the 36th time I've meticulously planned and prepared to confess to Miss Xiaoyu. This time, there can be absolutely no mishaps. It must succeed in one go. He tightly clenched his fists, as if all his strength had converged, then forcefully patted his slightly tense face. Sun Wai turned and walked to the mirror, straightened his back, and gazed at his reflection, his eyes sparkling with determined and fervent light. He loudly encouraged himself, "Come on, Sun Wai, you are so excellent, the most outstanding and charming young man in this world. Believe in yourself, this confession will definitely succeed." After speaking, the corners of his mouth turned up, revealing a confident smile. Just then, the butler, who had been silently observing his young master from the side, finally couldn't help but speak. "Young master, have you perhaps not had time to check today's news?" Hearing this, Sun Wai suddenly turned around, and asked with a puzzled expression, "News? I've never been interested in those things. What's wrong?" "Oh, nothing special, it's just..." The butler hesitated, his eyes a bit evasive. Seeing this, Sun Wai frowned and pressed, "What exactly is going on? Speak." The butler hesitated for a moment, then finally mustered the courage to reply, "Young master, it's actually news about Miss Xiaoyu." "Xiaoyu? What happened to her?" Sun Wai's heart instantly jumped, and he rushed to the butler, anxiously pressing for answers. The butler sighed helplessly, slowly took out his phone from his pocket, handed it to Sun Wai, and gently said, "Young master, you'll know once you see it." "Pete, why be so mysterious?" Sun Wai grumbled, but his hand quickly took the phone. At first, he was still a bit impatient, but the moment his gaze fell upon the news headline on the screen, he froze as if struck by lightning, his face turning incredibly grim. New super-popular singer Lin Feng and Queen of Pop Zhang Xiaoyu had a secret rendezvous at XXX Hotel last night, suspected of their romance being exposed. At the end of the article, there were also photos of Lin Feng and Zhang Xiaoyu's secret rendezvous at the hotel. As he continued to scroll, many public accounts were tracking this matter, and there was even some other news. What the hell? Where did this Lin Feng come from? Sun Wai had been abroad during this period and had just returned last night. Having just returned, he was immediately preparing to confess to Zhang Xiaoyu today, but he never expected a Lin Feng to appear out of nowhere. This made him feel as if he had struggled hard outside, only to return and find his home had been stolen. Oh my goodness! Where did this Lin Feng pop out from? What's his background? Do you know? Sun Wai suddenly looked up, staring intently at the butler standing beside him, urgently pressing for answers. The butler bowed slightly and respectfully replied, "To answer the young master, this Lin Feng is the hottest singer of late. My daughter also loves listening to his songs, and she told me that every song he sings becomes incredibly popular." And it seems that some time ago, when Miss Zhang Xiaoyu released her new album, Lin Feng specifically composed a song for her, and that's how the two met. However, no one ever expected their relationship to progress so quickly. It turned out that because his young master had always paid close attention to Zhang Xiaoyu, the butler naturally kept an eye on all kinds of news and updates concerning her. So, Zhang Xiaoyu, whom I couldn't win over with years of flowers, yachts, and heartfelt confessions, was taken by the sprat named Lin Feng with just one lousy song? Sun Y was trembling with anger at this point. Was there no justice in the world? Looking at Lin Feng, what kind of appearance was that? Wasn't this a good cabbage being rooted by a pig? Just then, the phone pushed another message. Sun Y quickly clicked it open. It was a video of Zhang Xiaoyu being surrounded by a group of reporters who had been waiting outside the hotel as she emerged this morning. Queen of Pop Zhang Xiaoyu, may I ask, is it true that the paparazzi photographed you having dinner with Lin Feng last night? May I ask if you two are really dating? May I ask when you two started being together? Could you reveal that? I heard that you two were introduced by Chen Zixuan, the Queen of Pop. Is that true or false? Does Chen Zixuan, the Queen of Pop, know about your relationship? The internet says you and Lin Feng started dating before he became famous. That true? A large group of news media surrounded Zhang Xiaoyu with questions, but Zhang Xiaoyu did not answer a single one. Instead, accompanied by security personnel, she quickly passed through the media, got into her car, and left the hotel for the press conference. Sun Y returned the phone to the butler, telling him to go down first, and also informed the butler that today's confession was suspended, as he needed to thoroughly research his competitor. Since you're a singer, I really need to see what kind of beautiful songs you can sing. The ancients often said, know yourself and your enemy, and you will win 100 battles. This military adage is indeed a profound truth. Unlike those rich second-generation heirs who relied on family power to act tyrannically, Sun Y had always disdained using his background to bully others. For him, only by defeating opponents in a fair and square manner, with solid reasons, could he truly showcase his own strength and achieve a convincing victory. The so-called winning people over with reason is precisely this principle. Sun Y gently clicked on the Baidu search engine icon on his computer desktop, then slowly typed Lin Feng into the input box. In the blink of an eye, various news articles about Lin Feng surged forth like a tide, instantly filling the entire screen. However, due to the recent scandal between Lin Feng and Zhang Xiaoyu, the first few pages of search results were all reports about their supposed rendezvous. It's worth noting in this era, what kind of news is the hottest? Without a doubt, it's scandals. Otherwise, why would those big-name celebrities be so keen on creating scandals to attract public attention? Sun Y held the newspaper, his gaze slowly scanning the news about Lin Feng and Zhang Xiaoyu's rendezvous, feeling a pang of pain in his heart. So he simply flipped a few pages, skipped this section, and went directly to other news about Lin Feng. It's true what they say, ignorance is bliss, but seeing it is a shock. He never expected this Lin Feng to be so formidable. What caught Sun Y's eye the most was Lin Feng's single-handedly taking on the entire Tianyu Entertainment Company. He even created a total of 10 songs in just 10 days. What's more, what was even more astonishing was that these 10 songs, once released, were immediately hailed by fans as rare classics. I refuse to believe this Lin Feng is that amazing. 10 songs in 10 days, and every single one is a masterpiece. Sun Y, looking unconvinced, immediately opened the Cool Cat player and searched for Lin Feng's name. Indeed, Lin Feng's song list appeared in full, and the sales of each song had exceeded 10 million. He then clicked on a song called Sunny Day and paid 1 yuan to listen. Sung well, this song is quite good. After one song he moved on to the next, Always Quiet. Holy cow, the lyrics are really damn good. Sun Y was a bit excited. He had to admit that the quality of these 2 songs was top tier in the entire Chinese music scene. This Lin Feng really has something, Sun Y thought to himself. Sun Y loved music very much, and he loved to sing even more. He had even participated in some singing competitions, but his best result was 5,000 into 4,999. But even so, Sun Y still loved music very much. Unlike the usual places where other rich second-generation heirs spent their money, Sun Y's entertainment was very simple, going to cafe to sing. and Sun Y really went there to sing, with no other extra activities. It was precisely because of this that, by chance, Sun Y went to Zhang Xiaoyan's concert, and was captivated by Zhang Xiaoyan on stage, and from then on, he began to pursue Zhang Xiaoyan madly. It should be noted that, in the eyes of ordinary people,